Now let's see about the cross product of what these unit vectors. That means they are taking only for what the unit vectors along what x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Okay, dot product. So I mean cross product. When I say cross, this cross, okay, that is written here. This cross, that means multiplication, you can say. In the case of algebra and in the case of vector, these are quite different. Okay. Now, if you take it the dot product of this cross product of I cap and I cap, then it will be equal to 0. How it is coming? In this case, what happened? Your cross product is given by what? Cross product of two vectors. Okay, let me write first here like this: a cross b, a vector cross b vector. This will be equal to the product of the magnitude of the first vector, that is a, magnitude of the second vector b, okay, sine of the smaller angle between them, okay, and another vector n cap, where n cap is nothing but this is a unit vector perpendicular to both a vector and b vector. Okay, so you can also say that n cap is a unit vector perpendicular to both a vector and b vector, or rather you can also say like this: n cap is a unit vector perpendicular to the plane containing a vector and b vector. Got it? Suppose if you are having that a vector is here, b vector is here like this, then on a plane containing these two vectors, that means this will be the plane. Okay, onto this plane a also lie, b also lie, then your n cap will be a unit vector perpendicular to this plane. So either it may be perpendicular, okay, outward, or it may be also perpendicular downward like this. Okay, perpendicular means perpendicular to the plane, so either it may be upward or downward to the plane. So which direction, we need to know it. Okay, if it is taken this as n cap, that means a line or unit vector perpendicular to the plane and outward. If it is taken as what, n cap, then the downward will be opposite of this n cap, so we may write it as minus n cap like this. So how to know it that this n cap is upward or downward? So there are two directions, even though they are perpendicular. These two are perpendicular to both the plane containing a and b. Got it? So this will be given. Okay, to know this, whether it is outward or inward or vertically upward or vertically downward to this plane, we need to know another rule that is known as right-handed corkscrew rule. Right-handed screw rule, you can simply say right-handed screw rule. What is this right-handed screw rule? I will tell you here. Suppose if you are having a screw like this, okay, if you are having a screw like this, okay, and if you turn this head of the screw, clockwise, okay, and if this screw advances forward, then we call it that type of screw as right-handed screw. Okay, if we turn this head of the screw clockwise, got it? If we turn this head of the screw clockwise, and if the screw advances forward, then what happen? We call it that as what? Right-handed screw rule. Now for us, this one, if you try to turn the vector from the first vector to the second vector, okay, as in the right-handed screw rule, if you try to turn the head of the screw from the first vector to the second vector, then if it is advancing forward, then that direction in which the screw advances forward, we call it that as n cap. Got it? So from the first vector to the second vector, you need to turn the head of the screw. Got it? Then what happened? If it is advancing forward, then what happened? We will call it that as your direction of this A cross B vector. Or rather, you can also do like this. We may call it as a right hand curl rule. So the first vector is A vector right here. So you try to stretch it, your right hand, okay, in such a way that the four fingers are mutually perpendicular to your thumb, okay, and try to place your four fingers parallel to this first vector. That means your four fingers will be here like this, parallel to it, parallel to what? Parallel to the first vector. And you try to curl your four fingers toward the second vector. That means toward this second vector. Then the direction of your thumb will give you the direction of this A cross B vector. Can you get my point? Suppose if you are having two vectors like this, A vector and another vector B vector here, and the smaller angle between them is theta. So you try to stretch your right hand. I'm just repeating, okay, you try to stretch your right hand such that your four fingers are mutually perpendicular to your thumb, okay, and place your forefinger parallel to the first vector. Got it? And you try to curl your fingers toward the second vector. The direction of the thumb will give you the direction of this cross product of these two vectors. Now if you try to do it that, then what happened? The direction of your thumb, okay, when you try to curl it from A vector toward the second vector, that means B vector, your four fingers I mean, then the direction of your thumb will be toward your face. Am I right? So the direction of your cross product of these two vectors will be perpendicular to the plane of your mobile screen, and it will be outward. That means toward you. Got it? Now if you are going to do the cross product of B vector and cross A vector like this, then you need to turn your upside down your four fingers such that your four fingers will be parallel to your first vector, and you try to curl it toward the second vector, that means your A vector. Then the direction of the thumb will be what? Downward. Got it? Like that. So this will be downward, okay, but A cross B will be what? Upward. Let's take it. Upward means toward your face, and this will be inside the mobile, perpendicular to the plane, okay, inside the inside means what? It will be what? Inward, perpendicular to the plane of your mobile, okay. Yes. So what happened? You can use it this one right hand screw rule, or you can also use this right handed curl rule. We call it that this as right handed curl rule, okay. Suppose if you are trying to do that your right handed screw rule, then your screw, let's take it like this. Let me draw it, okay, in a brief way like this. Suppose if this is the head of the screw and your screw is having like this, for example, in this way. Got it? Suppose if you try to turn this head of the screw from the first vector B to the second vector A, that means you need to turn your head of the screw like this, okay, from the first vector to the second vector. That means this is a clockwise direction, okay, clockwise direction like this. If you turn the head of the screw, naturally your screw will advance it forward like this. Got it? The tip of this screw will be advancing in this direction, right? So that means this direction will give you what? Your cross product. Okay, from B to A means for this one it is downward, means it is inside. It is correct, right? So if you try to turn it, then it will be inward. Got it? That means perpendicular to the plane of this screen and directed inward. Got it? So now if you are using this formula, okay, then let's see. If it is taken as I, that means x-axis, okay, and your y-axis here, and you can take it this as z-axis. You can take it this as x-axis, this can be taken as y and this can be taken as z also. Okay, you can interchange it, no doubt. So I cross I will be equal to 0. This will be I cap here, this will be your j cap, that means along y axis, and a unit vector along z axis, we call it that as k cap, like this, right? So I cross I is equal to 0. Why it is coming equal to 0? Because what happened, I cross I, the magnitude of I cap is what? 1. Magnitude of another I, that is also 1. Got it? Sine of angle between them is what? X and X. Angle between them, they are parallel. This is also along x-axis, this is also along x-axis, so they are parallel. So angle between two parallel line is what? Is equal to 0 degree. So what happened? Sine of 0 will be 0. Got it? So what happened? It may be either k cap, j cap, or k cap. Okay, but this doesn't come. Why? Because the sine of 0 degree is how much? Yes, 0. So the whole thing will be equal to 0. So I cross I vector cross I cap cross I cap will be equal to what? 0. Got it? But in the case of this, what? I cross j cap, that will be equal to unit vector of I cap is 1, j cap is 1. Sine of angle between them is what? 90 degree. Got it? This is along x-axis, y-axis, so angle between them is 90 degree. And what happened? We need to find out the direction, n cap. And I told you that n cap will be what? N cap will be in a what? Direction perpendicular to the plane containing both x and y, right? So a line perpendicular to x-axis and y-axis will be what? It will be either positive z-axis or negative z-axis. Got it? So let's see. So if you are going to turn from y-axis to what? X-axis to y-axis, I should say. If you are going to turn your right hand from what? Y-axis, x-axis to y-axis, then it will be turning toward the z-axis, right? So 1 into 1 is 1, sine 90 degree is also 1, and this n cap will be nothing but it will be equal to what? Your k cap. Got it? K cap. Clear? And in the previous one that we are talking about a vector cross b vector, there your n cap and minus n cap are opposite to each other, right? So what happened if you are trying to do the cross product of I, okay, with k, then the direction will be toward the negative y-axis. So I cross k cap will be given as minus k cap. So what is the mnemonic to remember this? That is what? If you are taking the dot product of the same or what? Unit vector, then it will be always equal to 0. So it may be j cap cross j cap, or it may be k cap cross k cap. This will be always giving you a 0 value. But if you are doing that a cap cross j cap, okay, this will be equal to k cap, like this. Then if you take it that j cap cross k cap, then it will be equal to I cap. If you take it the cross product of k cap cross I cap, then this will be equal to what? J cap. Okay, if you just take it this, if you change the order, that means if you take it j cap cross I cap, then this will be equal to minus k cap. If you change the order of this, then it will be giving you the minus of this value. That means they are opposite. Got it? If you turn it from x-axis to y-axis, then it will give you your z-axis, right? By using your right hand curl rule. But if you do it from y-axis to x-axis opposite, then it will be giving you toward the negative z-axis. Got it? Similar to here also, if you take it this k cross j cap from here, if you change the order, then this will be equal to minus I cap. Same thing here also. If you change the order from k, I'm sorry, it will be from this, instead of this, it will be what? I cross k cap, then this will be equal to minus j cap, like this. Now I'm going to give you a mnemonic for this, but this one is already there. Okay, cross product of the same unit vector with itself will give you a 0. Okay, but if you are going to take it for I, j, k, then it should be coming in the cyclic order like this. If it is representing I, okay, j, k, like this. If it goes in the cyclic order like this, I cross j, you will get it this one. Got it? I cross j, that will give you k. Okay, j cross k, you will get it the another one, the third one, like this, if the order is same in this clockwise direction. Got it? In this direction, right? So j cross k will give you your I, k cross I will give you your j here. Got it? If this order is reverse, or if it is not coming in this cyclic order, then there will be always minus, and suppose if you take it this what, j cross I, then it will give you minus k. It is here like this. Got it? If it is the order is what, not maintained, then minus of the other will be surely coming. Got it? Yes. Let's see, that will be here also. Okay, see here in the case of I cross I, that will be all 0. I cross I, this will give you 0. J cross j will be 0. K cross k, this will give you 0 value. But if it is not like this, if it is not with the similar or the same what vectors, taking cross product with the same unit vector, then it will not give you 0. If the cyclic order is maintained, then it will be what, giving you the third one. Suppose if it is I, okay, if it is I with j, ij, next will be k. Got it? If it is I, next is j, instead of j, if you are taking k, okay, then it will be coming that minus j. Order is not maintained. Got it? Similar like that, others also you can see it. See, k cross j, k cross, instead of j cross k, it is k cross j. This will be the first vector, okay, this side, and this side will be the second vector. Got it? So your first vector will be what? Your first vector will be this one. Got it? Your first vector, and your second vector will be this one. So taking the first product, dot product of these, so k with this k, same, it will be so 0. If the order is not maintained, k cross j, instead of j cross k, it is k cross j, so it will be 1 minus k cross I. This is cyclic order, I, j, k, I, k, I, so it will be the next one like this. Got it? So for that of the 2 dimension that I have already told you, it will be coming here like this. Okay, a cross b. Now just to do in terms of the components, okay, along x-axis, y-axis, you can do it like this. See, this is just like the matrix. Okay, now if you are going to take it the matrix like this, okay, a cross b vector, then you try to write it the unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis like this in the first row. In the second row, what happened, you write it all the components, okay, all the magnitude of the component of a along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis like this. Below this y, you write it the component of a along, okay, y-axis. Below z, you write the component of a along z-axis. Similarly like that for b also, you write here for b, okay, component of b along x-axis, component of b along y-axis, component of b along z-axis like that. And then You try to do this like this we call it as matrix. How to do this matrix? Actually, you try to take the product like this. Suppose first you want to find it out for the x component, then you need to remove those rows and columns containing this I. That means you need to remove it this. Okay, you need to remove this. That means containing row. Okay, this I cap. That means this is a row containing I cap, right? So you need to remove it this, and you also need to remove the columns containing this I cap. So the column containing I cap means this one, so you need to remove it this. Then what is remain? Okay, what left are this one, right? So that means you need to write it like this: I cap times, this is a matrix, okay, of what remain is AY, AZ, BY, BZ, like this. Got it? In the next step again, so let me write it that here. Okay, let me write it here as what I have told you, that it should be written as I cap taking J and K, removing those rows and columns containing I. So what remain is this portion A, Y, AZ. This should be in terms of that of matrix. So BY, BZ, like this. Next, it should be coming like this: plus, minus, plus. So minus is what? Next is the second unit vector J cap. And if you take it these rows containing what J, then I and K will be removed. If you remove the column containing J, then what happen? It will be removed these two also, right? So what remain is what? This AY, AZ divided by, not AY, it should be AX, I think. Yes, I'm sorry, this should be AX, okay? This should be AX, then AY, AZ divided by B, not divided by, in the second row it will be BX, BY, like the BZ. Got it? And next, see, plus here, minus, then it will come plus here. So plus what? Next is for K. You need to remove it this column and the row containing this K cap. That means you need to remove these two. So it will be K times of what? What remain is AX, AY, and BX, BY, like this. So how to find it out? This you come it here, okay, somewhere here. So it will be equal to I times of what? You need to multiply these two, okay? You need to multiply these two minus the product of, okay, the product of these two again, the product of these two. Got it? So it will be equal to what? AY, BZ, BZ minus the product of AZ, this and this, I mean, AZ and BY. Next is what? Minus J cap, these two, you need to multiply these two, okay? That means what? It is what? BAX, AX, okay? What is that? AX, BZ minus AZ, BX. Next is what? For this one, okay, the third term, I mean, this will be equal to plus K cap, AX, BY minus AY, BX, like this. So if you rearrange it, okay, if you rearrange it in this second term, if you rearrange it in this second term, let me tell you here, this is minus here, right? This is minus. Got it? If you want to keep this first, then this minus and this minus here, it will be plus, but this term will become minus. Okay, so what I'm going to write is what? I cap. Let me write this I cap here, somewhere here in this. Got it? And then you write this first. Got it? Minus minus is plus, right? So instead of that, yes, here it is wrong. It should be it should be minus. Okay, here it should be minus. If you want to keep it as it is like this here, then this will be minus. Okay, and this will be plus as it is like this. But if you want to write it in a different form, okay, whatever I'm writing here, okay, it will be coming here. You know how it is coming? It is coming from this. Okay, clear? Yes. Now let's see. If you don't want to write in this way, then still you can write it in this way also. I mean from here. Okay, this one. See, it will be equal to what? This one, I mean. You better write it I like this. Okay, or you can keep it in the here at the end also, no dot, but for me, let me write here, and I will tell you the mnemonics. AY BZ minus AZ BY. Next is what? Plus J cap, and then you write it this first, as I'm going to write it here plus. Okay, I told you that this should be minus. Okay, it was a mistake while printing. Okay, while typing. So what happened? This will be plus. Now instead of minus, I'm just writing as plus. If it is plus, then this should be written first. Okay, so it will be what? AZ BX, okay, minus AX BZ, and the last one will be what? Plus of K cap, and this will be AX BY minus AX BY, like this. So if I'm going to remember like this, then it will be very easy. See, instead of forgetting about this minus and all, okay, if it is going to be all positive, here also positive, here also positive, here also positive, all the three terms are positive. And how to remember it? Now this I cap is the unit vector along x-axis. Then these are all, see, A, B, here also A, B, all are A, B, right? Now you just remember like this. The first one is for unit vector. This is along x-axis. Next will be what? For y. That means the component of A along y. Next will be component of B along z. So it will come in this order, in the cyclic order, x, y, z, like that. Got it? And for this, the other term, you just interchange these two. Instead of A, Y, you try to write it as AZ from here. Okay, AZ, BY, you interchange it these two. Okay, Y and Z, you interchange it here. AZ, BY. Similarly, here also, if it is the unit vector here, this one, unit vector here is for what? For Y. No? Y, next will be what? It will be Z. So AZ, next will be BX. So this will be what? X, Y. No, I mean this is for Y. So it will be Z, X. And then you interchange it, this Z and X here. Got it? Last one is for what? For Z. If it is coming from for Z, then it will be coming to what? X again. X, Y, Z. You try to come it in that way. So if it is a unit vector along Z, I mean for this K cap, next component will be what? It will be X. So you write AX, BY. AB will be always there. And in between here, this will be always minus. Got it? So you can remember in that way. Got it? So let me write it again. Okay, for you. What I said was that A cross B. Okay, this will be equal to what? I cap. I told you that it will be always AB like this. So if it is for x, then you write it for y, then this will be for z. With minus, then you just interchange these two. Interchange these two means it will be z here, it will be y here, like this. Next, it is plus, okay, it will be j cap. If it is j cap, AB will be always there, like this. Got it? So if it is for y, then it will be what? Z, next will be x. You interchange it, these two again, like this. The last term will be for k cap. This also plus here, and you try to write it this as AB minus AB. If it is for k, then this will be for x. Okay, I cannot write it here, x, and this will next one will be for y. You just interchange it this again here as y and x here, like this. That's all. Got it? So that is all about this, about the cross product and dot products. Thank you.